What's up YouTube? Shamu Aquariums here, bringing you guys another video. And man, I just love this roseline with that emerald green on his back. But anyway, it's time for me to officially announce that it is the end of an era, because pretty soon I will be getting rid of this 135-gallon planted aquarium. It's been a good run, but it's officially time for me to say no more. Because I'm officially getting a new one pretty soon. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, y'all thought I was quitting the hobby for a second, huh? But if you guys have been paying attention to my posts recently, no, I will be replacing this tank with another one. And the reason for that is because my Cheapskate Habits, oops, I dropped my vape. My Cheapskate Habits have started to bite me in the ass because, as you guys know, as I mentioned in a couple previous videos, this was a budget setup. Back in 2018, when my local PetSmart allowed you to buy the 125-gallon tank and the stand separately, I cheaped out by buying the PetSmart stand, and I got lucky finding this 135-gallon tank on sale at a local fish store. And in the process, I saved almost 200 bucks by buying the stand from PetSmart and buying the tank separately from a local fish store on sale. And I thought I got lucky because this 135-gallon tank is the exact same length and width as an Aqueon or Pet Top Fin, I forgot which one. It's the exact same width and length as a 125-gallon tank. It's just like an inch and a half taller. Well, flash forward 6 years later, this stand is starting to warp on the back side. And rather than deal with the hassle of bracing the stand and then potentially messing it up, or having to empty the tank, throw all the fish in buckets, and then take the tank off and buy a whole new stand or build a new stand, I'd rather just get a whole new tank. Now, in the process of replacing the tank with a new one, I might still have to throw all the fish in buckets anyway, because I will be checking out the floor, because under the potential spot I want to put the new tank in. And if the floor is not suitable in that area for a new tank, then yeah, I'll probably have to throw all these fish in buckets, tear this tank down, and put the new tank in this exact same spot that this tank currently sits. And the part that scares me about that is because while I believe all the other fish would be fine, these guys are the ones that I worry about the most, because I've seen many videos of people moving tanks or tearing tanks down to replace them with new ones. And whenever these roseline sharks, aka Denison barbs, were involved, every single one of those people that had these fish and put them in buckets and put them in, and when like rescaping or moving or replacing a tank, every single one of those people that had these roseline sharks ended up losing 2 or 3 of them. These guys do not like to be stuffed into buckets or bins for a few hours and then put in an all-new tank. These guys get pretty stressed out from that, especially when they get bigger. So yeah, worst case scenario is I end up having to put all the fish in buckets and put the new tank in the exact same spot this tank sits in. Best case scenario, I just put the new tank in a different spot and then like fill it up with half the water from this tank and put the original established canister filters on the new tank, fill the new tank the rest of the way up, and then after a couple days or a few days, just move all the fish over. Just like I did when I transferred all my fish from my old 125 gallon tall to this 135, which was very successful. But yeah, that's the part I am worried about, especially when it comes to having to shove a bunch of fish into buckets. Now, just simply putting the new tank in a different spot and just moving everything over, that's easy. So hopefully I won't have to tear this tank down, throw all the fish into buckets and bins, and end up having to put the new tank in the exact same spot. I'd rather do it the easy way, where I temporarily have 2 tanks in this room for a week or so. But yeah, didn't think this would ever happen. I thought this was going to be my last tank in this house, but nope, it's time to replace this tank with a new one. And I'm not going to say the size of the new tank until I actually get it, but it's not going to be much bigger than this one. It's still going to be a 6-foot tank, so but it's just going to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's a surprise for when I actually end up getting the tank in the coming months, or it's probably going to be a month or two. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit bigger than this one, not by much. It's definitely not going to be a 200+ gallon tank. That's not happening. Just a little bit wider, but still 6 feet long. And I'd be absolutely gutted if I lost this specific rose line in the process of replacing this tank. That's my favorite one right there with the emerald green on his back. He's fully matured. I got no idea how old he is. He was already this size when I got him. But yeah, it's officially onto a new chapter. This is probably going to end up being the 40 gallon, 125, 135. This is going to be my 4th tank that I've had since starting this YouTube channel. Not counting the other tanks that I've had at my mom's house. But yeah, anyway, that's all for today's video. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.